I would just like to say welcome everybody for coming today. We're going to be talking a little bit about accommodation in Barcelona, maybe some activities, some administrative procedures that you might have to do. And of course, Mira will talk about Barcelona students and the services they offer. As I sent you in the email, you do have a file stating the prices and the services that are included. And this is actually for our students. The prices are usually a little bit higher. Of course, Mira will talk about it. And then what she mentioned when we had a meeting together, if you're interested in something like this, please contact them a few weeks before you're arriving, just so they have enough time to organize everything and make sure that once you arrive, you're settled. And Mira, thank you so much for coming again. I'm gonna, give my word to you now. You can start. If you need to share your screen, please let me know. I hope I'm gonna allow you to share.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for inviting me for this event. And I will need to share my screen because I prepared something for the students.
Yes, of course. Can you maybe try sharing the screen? I have this issue that my Zoom is full in Spanish, and I think I did. I think I did allow it, but I'm not sure.
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yes, I can see your screen. Amazing.
All right. May I start? Or shall we wait a little bit for other students to come?
No, let's start, and then I'm gonna admit the students as they come, and that's fully okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I think you are here because you are planning to come to Barcelona in 1 month or 2. So maybe like some of you are waiting for their visas, others they didn't apply for their visas yet, or some students are still like checking some information and gathering out or like everything they need for their arrival to Barcelona. So today I prepared like a small document for you to feel a little bit more comfortable about your move and to explain a little bit about Barcelona, what to expect like from the accommodation in Barcelona, about the neighborhoods, some information about the city, and of course about the padron or the census registration, and finally about us and how we can help you. But I want to make sure that you are all hearing me, like my voice is clear for everyone. Sarah, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Perfect, because the internet is cutting a little bit. Yes, if you don't hear me, like you can stop me at any time.
Of course, no problem.
Okay. So first, let me explain a little bit about the reasons to choose Barcelona or to live in Barcelona. So Barcelona has a lot of neighborhoods. Now we will enter like in each neighborhood, like I will give you like information or general information about each one, and then about the sustainable living cost in Barcelona. And because Barcelona is not an expensive city, it's one of the like most affordable cities in Europe, and I will tell you how, and also about the public transportation in the city. So let me enter first to the neighborhoods. So the main neighborhoods in Barcelona are Ciutat Vella, Les Corts, Eixample, Sant Martí, Gracia, and Sarria Sant Gervasi. So let's start first with Ciutat Vella. Ciutat Vella is the city center of Barcelona. So in the city center, it's like where you can find all the touristic areas. There is a lot of tourists there. There is a quarter. It's the first district of Barcelona, actually. Some students prefer to be in the city center of Barcelona because they prefer to be in a very active lifestyle. And some other students prefer like some calm neighborhoods near the city center. So it depends on each student. So in the city, in Ciutat Vella, you can find the districts like Barceloneta. Some people already heard about Barceloneta, which is near the beach. You can find also Raval, Gótico, and Sant Caterina and La Ribera. The prices in the city center, the prices of the rooms in the city center or outside the city center, it depends a lot on the type of room you choose and the apartment, the building. Like there is a lot of factors. For example, also it depends if it's a single room or if it's a double room, if it has a private bathroom, if it doesn't have a private bathroom. I will give you some examples later on in our event. The second district is Les Corts, which is a district where you can find a lot of universities nearby. And it's also well connected to the other cities. There are beautiful parks in Les Corts, and you can find neighborhoods like Pedralbes, which is also Les Corts is very well connected with SA, in case you want to choose a very well connected room to SA. And you have Eixample. Eixample is one of the nicest, in my opinion, cities in like neighborhoods in Barcelona because it's very modern. You can find a lot of fancy shops. You can walk in the Eixample like of the whole day and you will never get bored because like you can find many types of commerce, restaurants, and also the lifestyle there, if you live there, is very nice, but it's a little bit more expensive than the other neighborhoods in Barcelona. So it also depends on your budget at the end. Sant Martí, it's a quite affordable district. It's near the beach. I think it's a little bit far from SA, but Barcelona is a city where wherever you are, you can find a public transportation nearby. So you can find an autobus, a bus, you can find a metro, you can find a train. So even if you live at the end of the city, you will still find a good public transportation nearby. So you can be in 20, 30 minutes or maximum 40 minutes in SA. So don't limit yourself to just be very near SA. SA neighborhood is very nice, it's very calm. But it's not like the city center of Barcelona. So what I recommend is that when you like a room and you find a public transportation nearby that takes you to SA, just don't think twice, you know. At the end, you will not be in the university from morning until night each day. So it's important to find a secure place, a safe place, which is very important. Also, to like the room and the budget you are looking for, and well, and that's it. And to have like the public transportation nearby. This is very important. Also, you have Gracia. Gracia is a very nice neighborhood of Barcelona. It's like a village inside of the city. Everything like there are small boutiques, local commerce. It feels like as you are in a residential and family neighborhood, but also there are a lot of expats living there and the students. So it's also a very nice neighborhood to consider in Barcelona, and it's also connected by public transportation as well to SA and the main areas of the city. Finally, you can find Sarrià Sant Gervasi. Sarrià Sant Gervasi is very close to SA as well, but it's one of the most expensive. So some students prefer, of course, to be in a place where they have everything and to feel like in the most exclusive areas of Barcelona. And some other students prefer to like just the necessary to be to have a place in a safe neighborhood, and that's it. So it also depends on you, but Sarrià Sant Gervasi is also very nice. There's a lot of families in Barcelona living there, and there's a lot of parks, and it's a green neighborhood in Barcelona. But as I told you, it's one of the most expensive. So let's speak a little bit about the living costs, but I want to know if someone has any questions about the neighborhoods until here, or it's all clear. It's okay. Okay, so let me continue about the living cost in Barcelona. And of course, it's estimation. So don't take it like it's a very strict, it's strictly like that, because also it depends on each person. Some people can spend 3,000 euros per month, and some other people will spend just 600. So it depends on your lifestyle. But as I told you before at the beginning of the presentation, Barcelona is not one of them. It's not expensive city. It's not an expensive city if we compare it with Europe. But of course, you cannot compare it with your own country, because your own country, it can be like very cheap related to Barcelona or very expensive. It depends on from where you come from. For example, to rent a room in Barcelona now, you can expect around 500 euros the cost of the room, excluding bills. Of course, we have rooms for 400 or for 380, but also we have rooms for 600. So it's very important to not keep yourself until the last minute. So if you have your visa, you need to start looking for a room immediately. And it's very important also, some students think that they can come to Barcelona and search for a room from here, from Barcelona. It is also possible, but it's not recommended, because there will be probably thousands of students arriving at the same time in Barcelona. So maybe you will see a room now, and after 5 minutes it is booked. So you will stay without a room. My recommendation, and from our own experience, it's better that once you have your visa, to start looking for a room, and if possible, to book it before your arrival and to have it ready on your arrival. So you can go immediately to your room and you can focus on other things. Yeah, you can focus on first doing the procedures of your census registration and the padron. You can focus on doing your tea. You can focus on your university. So when you will not waste 1 or 2 or 3 weeks just searching for a room. To eat outside, if you eat outside, if you don't eat at home, you can expect around 25 euros per day. Okay, this is if you eat outside. But if you eat at home and you can cook, of course, you can spend as much as you can. You can spend maybe for the whole week 70 euros or 100 euros, or for the whole month 200, 300 if you just buy from the supermarket your grocery and you can cook at home. For the public transportation, now there is a card for 40 euros per month, which is unlimited for the bus, for the metro, and for the train. But there are news that this cost will be less from next month. So this cost maybe will be cut in half from next month. So it is very, very affordable. Also, the students who are less than 25 years old, they can get a youth card, which is also cheaper for them, the public transportation. That's what I told you. If you find a good room and affordable one within your budget, and it's not very close to SA and near the public transportation, it is worth it to take it, because public transportation is not expensive, and you can go anywhere and with any mean of transportation. Disco or pub, of course, here I put like price of a drink or on an entrance, but of course you can spend as much as you want. Cinema as well, and the museums as well. We calculated around 300 euros of cost excluding rent, more or less. But of course it can be 200, 300 or 400. It's just an estimation. Well, as I said before, there is 8 metro lines in Barcelona, 2 train network and 2 tram lines. So it is very easy to go everywhere in the city. Sorry. Okay, just a second. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Anyone has any question until now? Nothing else. Okay.
I would like to mention though, usually when students ask me about accommodation, I do recommend for them to actually come here in Barcelona before they actually book something. And this is just because there are a lot of scams going around when it comes to, on Idealista, on Body, they're like, oh, I have a room for 300. You give me, I don't know, 50 euros. I'm going to send you the keys. So
Yeah.
when you said that they should book it before you arrive, what are your recommendations? To book it with
Yes.
you? Okay. Okay.
Yes, I will explain this point because last year and the year before, we were actually recommending the students to book from Barcelona. And during
Okay.
the first week of their arrival, this is what we were telling students before. But from like after the COVID and until now, because we are receiving many students, not us, like Barcelona is receiving many students. That's why we are recommending to book before. But of course, it is very risky to book from anyone.
Yeah.
Like they should check which company, the contract, and all the aspects or the conditions before they book. For example, in our case, what we do is that we go and take photos by ourselves. So the photos we send to the students are not very nice professional photos by a photographer, and they come here and they see like a very different room. No,
Yeah.
they just see real photos, and sometimes we also take a video. So what they get is what they expect, or even better.
Yeah.
But
That's fair enough.
yes, but I want the students to be really very, very careful because it happened with us before that some students would come to us and they say, oh, I found an apartment, a very nice one for the 600 and 700 and an apartment, which is too good to be true. So we checked the links for the students, and this apartment were actually spam because you cannot find an apartment in Barcelona for 600 or 800 or 600 now. It's very difficult unless it's like a basement or a very small loft, or like there's something about it. So when it's too good to be true, because probably it's not true. So be careful because it happened a lot in Barcelona. There are a lot of scams, and especially if they ask you to pay and to start paying, and maybe also some people, because they are so professional, they send you the house contract with the actual rent and with some documents of the house, and it's not true. It's not for them, and they don't have authorization to even reserve this apartment. So it is very important to know with whom you're dealing, like to choose, even if you don't choose us, to choose a company that is reliable, like maybe to do some research, to check the reviews on Google, on Facebook, to check uh, everywhere on the internet about this company. And don't be like fooled if you check these apartments on Idealista or Abitaclia or these famous websites, because these famous websites are just like search engine. They don't double confirm if the company is legit or not. So this is a very important point. I hope I clarified, Sarah, for everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So yes. Yes,
I have
Michael.
a question, Mira. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I think in your presentation, I got the rough idea about how much a room costs, but what comes with the room? I mean, is it just a simple room, or you get the access to a private bathroom, kitchen, and other things as well?
Yeah, we have many types of rooms in Barcelona, and we work with many owners. So there are rooms from like different kind of rooms. You have rooms with private bathroom, you have rooms without private bathroom, but most of the rooms are without private bathroom, because not in Barcelona, it is common to have a apartment with 3 rooms and 1 bathroom, or 4 rooms and 2 bathrooms. So it is difficult to have 1 bathroom for each room. That's why you can find more rooms without bathrooms than rooms with bathrooms. And as for the utility fees, also some owners prefer to include the utility fees inside or with the rent, and some other owners prefer to provide an estimation. For example, they will tell you, okay, you need to pay 70 euros more or 80 euros more per month. And then when we receive the actual bills, we return to you the difference, or you pay the difference. Why? Because now in Barcelona, also from the beginning of this year, the cost of the electricity has increased a lot. So they cannot estimate more or less how much is the actual utility fees for the apartment. That's why they ask for a deposit. And then at the end, if you spend less, they will return the difference to you. And if not, you will have to pay. In this way, they will make sure that the students will not turn on the air conditioner all the day and the heating the whole night. So they will control it a little bit.
Oh, okay, thank you. And I have another question. I'm actually planning to come with my wife.
Okay.
So yeah, so is it a good idea to settle in a room, or what do you suggest? Do we book a studio apartment or something like that, or?
Of course, I suggest, of course, to have a studio apartment, not a room, because it will be more comfortable for you if you are coming with your wife. It's not like another student or another friend. So, because living in a room with like maybe 2 or 3 persons inside the same house, and maybe if you don't get well with them and you have to share the bathroom maybe. So, of course, it's recommended to have your own studio, but you need to have the budget as well, because a studio is more expensive.
How much will that cost roughly?
Yeah, well, you can expect around, if it's a 1-bedroom studio, you can expect around, maybe it can be from 900 and up. Even there are studios for 1,200, 1,300, 1,100. If you book earlier, you can find more options. If you if you stay until the end, the last minute, maybe the options will be very few and not with with what you're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
And also the apartment never includes utility fees. So you have to calculate like 150, 160 apart for the utility fees.
Okay, thank you very much. And
you're welcome.
I have another question.
Yes, tell me.
I'm sorry, I think I just forgot that. What was it? Oh yeah, actually on the checklist, because I have already booked my appointment at the embassy, I don't have the visa yet.
Okay.
So yeah, some people were recommending that you should already book your housing in Spain before, and so your proof of housing booking to the embassy. If that's doing that will increase your chance to get a visa and things like that. So
actually, it's a requirement to have a housing guarantee, but I will explain you what we do in this case. May I know from which country or which embassy you will be applying?
I am actually from Nepal, but I am applying from embassy in India. Yeah.
Okay, so from New Delhi, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially in India, they are a little bit more strict, and also in general, in 95% of the cases, they need a proof of accommodation. In this case, what we do, because there is like a probability, even if it's a low probability, to get your visa refused. So in case you book an appointment, you will tell me, okay, Mira, but if I book an apartment and I pay, and if I don't get my visa, what should I do in this case? So what we did is that you only book a housing plan with us. I will explain this. I wanted to explain this at the end, but I will give you an idea now. So you will book a housing plan with us. This is like the service fee, not the actual apartment. So it's the service fee that you need to pay before. With this service fee, we give you one of the services that it includes is that we send you an accommodation guarantee letter that you needed for the visa. Once you receive the accommodation guarantee letter, in this letter, we also put the amount that you paid, which is, it's like a deposit or reservation. And so for the embassy, it's enough to prove that you have a guarantee of accommodation in Barcelona. Okay, and in case you don't get your visa, you will only lose 150 euros for administration fees, 150 euros. But if you book an apartment from now or a room, what will happen is that you need to pay the rent and the deposit for the owner to block this apartment, and the owner will not refund to you this deposit. That's why we did like this kind of procedure to just do pay for the housing plan before. So in case you don't receive the visa, you only lose 150, not the whole rent. And after receiving your visa, you will contact us immediately. You'll tell us, I received my visa. I want to start looking for the accommodation. In this case, we start sending you the accommodation options available. And once you choose the accommodation, you will pay for the owner the deposit and the rent. Okay, maybe I gave you an idea, but at the end of the presentation, I will explain it more in details.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have any question, Michael?
Not for now. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not hearing you. Are you still hearing me? Yes. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Michael. So let me continue to explain a little bit about Barcelona. In Barcelona, you have two official languages. Some people don't know about it. So you have the Catalan and you have the Spanish. Catalan is actually an official language. So it's written, it's spoken, everyone speaks it in Barcelona. Of course, it's not obligatory to speak Catalan because only the people of Catalonia and Barcelona speak Catalan. But it's important if you want to live like forever in the city, because you will feel like more one of the people. You will not feel like as you are a stranger. So, but it's important to know that, because you will hear many people speaking Catalan, to know that this is an official language and that it exists in Barcelona. And I really recommend every student to learn Spanish, even the basics, especially the students who want to do an internship later on in Barcelona. Even if your studies are in English and even if you speak English, all companies prefer people who speak at least a basic level of Spanish. So it's very important to have at least a level or two in Spanish. You can do it in your own country before you arrive, or there are many short courses in Barcelona that you can take for 1 month or two to speak Spanish. We also offer short courses. If you want later, we can, like, after you get your visa and everything, you can ask us about it. I will not like stress enough and speak more about Barcelona. So it's a very nice city. There is a lot of events going on, a lot of activities. Food is very good. You have the beach nearby. Yeah, do you agree, Sarah?
Yes. I definitely agree. I also agree with the Spanish part. The internships, I know that there are internships in all different languages. And I'm an example of a person that doesn't actually speak Spanish, and I'm here. So you can do it, but as Mira mentioned, it's recommendable to learn the basics just so you can get around easier.
You will raise the chance of finding an internship, and I mean, you will be ahead of other people, of course. Okay, so let me skip a little bit this part. So maybe you heard about tapas, about cerveza, about the food in Barcelona. It's, Barcelona has very good food, Mediterranean food. There's a lot of things going on in the city in the summer, in the winter. You will never get bored if you want. Of course, if you want to stay in your room studying all the time, you can do it. But if you want to spend time outside, going with friends, doing some events, it's a city where, like, it's a very lively city. And why it's the best destination for students? Because when you will come, you will see that this is a city where you can find people from everywhere. Like, from every possible part of the world. You will walk in the street and you will find, I can tell you, like maybe in the same hour, like 20 nationalities. So it's a very good city to make friends, and you can find everything you want, actually. Of course, I'm telling you this, but it's not everything easy to live abroad. There are some challenges, there are some things that you need to take into consideration when you arrive, but it's worth it. So well, this is what I want to say. Well, as for the museums, you can find many dates where the museums are also for free in the city. There are some food festivals. There are some events also where you can exchange your language with other languages, like a language exchange events, and it's normally for free. So in Barcelona, actually, you can enjoy and you can have you can do so many activities for free for students. So if you don't want to spend a lot and you just have to go to some organized food festivals or some language exchange, or look onto some applications. For example, there's an application called Internations. It is very good for international students. They organize a lot of events. Also, there are other applications in the cities that you can check, and many events are for free. So you can do anything you want. Now let's speak about the serious part when you will arrive to Barcelona. So when you arrive to Barcelona, there is one thing that you need to take into consideration. First, it's the padrón. Padrón, it is the same as the census registration. Okay, so it's census registration in English. In Spanish, we say padrón or empadronamiento. This is a document that you need to have in order to do your TIE, which is a student card. You know, in your country, when you apply for a visa, you will get 3 months only, type D visa for 3 months. You will not get it the whole year. Then when you arrive in Barcelona, you have 1 month to do your padrón and to take your appointment for the TIE, for the student card. And in this student card, you will have the duration of the whole studies to stay in Barcelona. It is a very important part, or you will not be illegal in Barcelona. You will not be legal in Barcelona. You will not reside legally. So to get the padrón, what you need to have? You need to have your accommodation first, an accommodation contract. Okay, if you book an accommodation through us, we always provide an accommodation contract, and you will always have the padrón procedure included. We will also take your appointment. So it's already included in our plan. You will not have to worry about it. If you book an accommodation by yourself, it is very important to ask the owner if they provide you with padrón. Because if they don't provide you with padrón, it will be a problem for you. Okay, and some students don't know about it, so they book any room or any apartment and they come to Barcelona and they cannot do a padrón. Okay, so with the padrón, as I told you can apply for the residency with the TIE card, and you can have, for example, access to the local health insurance card and some other benefits also in Barcelona. Now about Barcelona students, about us. We have an office in Barcelona, and we welcome students from all over the world. We have more than 100 nationalities. We help students actually with everything they need in Barcelona. We are just focused on Barcelona. We work with many universities and with SA from a long time, with SA students. So we provide the housing, we provide cultural trips during the year. We also help with internship if you need, and we provide legal services for our students. So basically everything you can think about related to students, and in Barcelona we provided. So trips, housing, we provide the legal, we provide insurance. So let's speak a little bit about the student TIE or NI. Student TIE or NI, it's a step that comes after the padrón or after the census registration. Okay, the student TIE, to have it, you need to have the padrón. You cannot do the TIE without the padrón. So you need to have the letter of the PIE, and then you will need you need to do the student T. For the student T, the most challenging part for the students is to fill out all the documents which are in Spanish normally, not normally, always, and to get the T appointment. Because as I told you before, because all the students will be arriving together, it's very difficult to get an appointment. And it's even more difficult to get an appointment inside of the city of Barcelona and early. Maybe sometimes you can find appointments, but a little bit far from the city or after 1 month or 2. So if you plan it before your arrival, it will be better. What we do normally, if students take a housing plan with us or the student TIE with us, what we do is that we book their appointment before their arrival. So we make sure that they arrive, they have the appointment for the padron and they have the appointment for the TIE. And also they come to our office when they arrive. So we prepare all their documents. They just need to sign. Basically, they don't need to do anything else. They just need to sign and they will submit the documents. So for the students who don't want to spend on these services, they can do it by themselves. Well, if they have some problems or some issues, they can get back to us and they can do it with us whenever they want. Do you have any question about these two, about the padron or the student T, or it's clear?
I would just like to mention that I did it all myself. I am a European Union student, so it was a little bit easier for me, I have to admit. And it is doable. It's not impossible to do it, of course.
Exactly.
But it's always, in my opinion, it's helpful to have this support behind you, just, so you know exactly what you're doing. If you don't know, you can call somebody, you can actually email somebody, and they're going to be, here for you. Of course, it's always your own choice if you want to, pay for the service or not.
Exactly. It is doable, as you said. It's not impossible to do it, but some students prefer to avoid mistakes or to avoid delays and to have someone there that they can rely on and to have everything sorted out. Now, the part of accommodation of what we do as Barcelona students with the accommodation. First, we help, of course, students to cope with their new life challenges. If they have a problem, if they have anything related to their life in Barcelona, they can reach us. They can reach us even on WhatsApp during the whole day. So it's not like they need to at any time for anything they need.
Sorry, Mira, I'm not sure if you can hear me. It seems like we're losing you a bit.
Yes, now I can hear you now.
Good, okay.
Yes, I was saying that we provide the support and the free support and advice during the whole year for all the students who take the housing with us. So they can reach us anytime, even on WhatsApp during the day. So we are there. It's not like they need to wait for 2 or 3 days to get answers for their questions. And of course, they are with safe hands. There is no online scam. There is no hidden commissions. So what we say is what they get at the end. There's nothing like out of the world. And we offer 2 housing plans. If you enter to our website, you will find different prices because these prices are only for SA students. Okay, so these prices are are cheaper for SA students. So we have the basic housing plan and we have the premium housing plan. What is the difference between these 2 housing plans? First, 2 of them we will send the accommodation guarantee letter. You will have dedicated housing consultant who will help you with to find the room and who will be with you here in Barcelona for the check-in, who will take the photos, the videos. You will have the assistance in getting your padron in any one of them. You will have the orientation guide and you have the support for the whole year. Also, we organize the Barcelona welcome tour that is included and you have discount on the yearly trip. on our yearly trip. Now, the difference between the basic housing plan and the premium housing plan is that the premium housing plan includes a 1 week hostel reservation for the students who don't find their rooms before and they want like a place to stay until they find their rooms in Barcelona. And also it includes an opening of bank account. For some students, it might look easy, but it's not that easy, especially if you are outside from the European Union. It is some banks will like oblige you to take another insurance or to pay other fees to open a bank account before getting your TIE. So we have a collaboration with a bank, so it is much easier to do it with us. We submit your documents and you just need to go and sign, basically. And the most important part is the complete assistance in getting your TIE and appointment and the documents and everything. So in the premium plan, it is included. Now, some student will say, for example, okay, I don't need the 1 week hostel, I just need this or this. In this case, you can take these services apart. So you can take the basic plan and you can take just the complete assistance in getting your tea, which is 90 euros apart. You don't have to pay for the whole premium housing plan. Okay, so you can combine it as you want. If you want more information, you can go to our website or you can write to us and I will be happy to explain like everything more in details. So the process is to book the housing plan before getting your visa. We will send you what you need for your visa. After getting your visa, you choose your room, you pay here the rental fees and the security deposit will be paid directly to the owner, not to us. So this is only after choosing your room, the second and the third part. Okay, and it's important also, I want to mention that the basic and premium housing plan include the service fee of a room reservation. But if you wish to book an apartment or a loft by yourself, the housing plan has a unique fee of 1 month's rent plus 21% of IVA. It is different, okay? So an apartment or a loft does not include the premium and housing plan. But if you pay for the basic housing plan to get your visa and then later you decide to take an apartment, we will use this as a deposit from the actual rent. So you will not lose it. Okay, so we will use it as a deposit from the actual fee of renting an apartment. So for me, I will not like, I don't like to like enter into much more details now in our session because we have limited time, but you can reach us on our website, on our email, hola@barcelonastudents.com. And also this number, if you want to save it, it's also available on WhatsApp if you want to talk to us during the day or whenever you have any question. And you can also follow us on social media and check what we are sharing.
Thank you so much, Mira. It was really helpful. I just want to say to the students, don't be afraid and don't worry. We've had so many students coming in and sorting everything out, so you will sort it out too, with or without help. Of course, that's your own decision. But I know that I have to admit, when I was first coming, this all sounded horrible and very, very, very frustrating. But at the end of the day, everything was manageable, and we didn't have one student actually in our school that didn't manage to get their things sorted out, their documentation and administration. So overall, thank you so much. This was a really, really good presentation. I might use some of it on the induction week that we have. I will have to admit to you. It was a really good presentation. You did really highlight the fact, some of the important aspects, like, yes, if you go to rent an apartment, there is this tax fee that you need to pay because mostly it's rented by agency. In Barcelona, it's very privatized from what I know, or second source. Owners give their rights to the agencies and then agencies actually find owners. But overall, it was a really amazing presentation. I wanted to ask, does anybody have any questions?
I don't know if I have a question, but I think you were Mira.
Yes.
You were telling me that you will clarify more on that apartment thing. That you should book before you get a visa or before you and have the
Yes.
confirmation
Yes.
about that?
Yes. So the process is, I will share, just let me check for one more document, 1 second. I will open it to you. It's like a infographic of the process. It will be easier for you to understand. Just a moment. Because some students prefer to see the things more visual. Here. Okay, so I will share my screen again. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the actual process to book your housing plan. First, you get informed. So you need to know the difference between the basic and the premium. It is very important. If you are interested, you can just send us an email and we explain again more in details each one of the two plans. Okay, after you book a plan, you can book the plan anytime, but it needs to be booked before you're applying for a student visa. Why? Because you need the document for the visa. So what we need from you is the passport and admission letter, and we will send you the accommodation guarantee letter needed for the embassy. So you will just take this letter, you book your plan, you take the accommodation guarantee letter from us, and you apply for your visa. And then we ask the students, once you receive your student visa and at least 2-3 weeks before your arrival, ask for the available rooms, apartments, options to your student advisor. So you come back to us and you will inform us that you got your visa. In this case, we'll start sending you the rooms and the apartments available. You will tell us, okay, I choose this room, I like this room. You choose the room that you liked. You send us the confirmation for the flight ticket because we need to arrange your check-in. And after choosing your room to book it, of course, you need to pay the deposit and the rental fees to the owner. So actually what you need to take into consideration is the housing plan and the deposit and rental fees. The deposit is normally, if you book an apartment, it's normally 2 months of rent, but it will be returned at the end of your stay. It's a deposit to make sure that you don't break anything, you don't return the apartment in bad conditions. So it's just a security deposit for the owner. So you have to calculate 2 months of rent for the owner, to deposit to the owner, and it will be returned to you at the end of your stay. And for rooms, normally they ask for 1 month or 2 months. It depends on each owner. Okay, so you take into consideration the housing plan, the deposit, and the rental fees. I hope it's more clear now here how is the process that you need to follow. So now you are here, you need to choose which plan you want to book. In my opinion, if you want a flat, just book the basic, and anytime you can upgrade. Okay, anytime you can upgrade or you can change, but at least you have the basic for your accommodation guarantee letter.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, if nobody else has any questions at the moment, it was a real pleasure to have you, Mira, today. I'm going to send all of our students, because we had a lot more applications and registrations, so I'm going to send an email again with the recording of the video of the session. I'm also going to send them, again, the documents that you provided us with the prices, and just a brief summary of everything you said. And then, I'm sure that some students will definitely opt for this option. It's just an easier option, and the fees are really not that high, for this amount of help that they would receive. And I guess that's it then. If Mira, you could stay after the students leave just for a minute, I would really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you everyone who has attended this event. Thank you so much for being here.